Hi, my name is KD. In this session, I'm going to talk about billing and cost management in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. I'm actually going to break this session into two parts. In the first part, we are going to discuss all the billing and account management options that you can leverage using OCI console. In particular, I'm going to go over cost analysis tools that can be helpful for you to filter your billing and cost data and to look at trend lines. We will look at budgets. What are budgets? How do you set them? And how do you get alerts using budgets? And finally, in this first part, we are going to look at usage reports, all the data that you can get with them, and how you can access them. In the next part of this topic, I'm going to cover service limits, compartment quotas, and wrap that up with the cost management best practices. So let's get started with the first few topics. All right, if you're familiar with the OCI console, and I'm going to show it to you shortly, all the billing and cost management related options are available under the account management part of the console. Right here, you will see cost analysis, payment methods. There is an invoice option here now, and there is budgets and there is usage report. Uh, in this talk, I'm not going to cover payment methods and I'm not going to cover invoices. Payment methods let you see what your how you're paying OCI right now or Oracle right now, and the invoices lets you download the invoices from the console. These are finance functions, and I'm focusing this talk more on the operations side of things. So let's first discuss cost analysis tools. So on cost analysis, these are visualization options that you can access using OCI console. And looking at, they provide very nice trend lines. And so you can detect patterns in your usage right away. And you can look at these patterns across different services in OCI. It gives you functionality in terms of filtering so that you get the data that you're most interested in. You can filter by date. You can filter by tags that you have attached to your OCI resources. And you can also filter by compartments in OCI. And to access these cost analysis reports, you need to be part of the administrators group. The IAM policy should allow you at least to uh, take a look at the usage reports part. Also, an important thing to note is that these tools are not available to all customers. I would say they are available to most of the customers in the United States who created accounts in OCI after January 28, 2019. You'll be able to leverage these tools. If you don't see this option in this console, it's not that big of a deal. The other cost management options and techniques I'm going to show you in this session would help you get similar information and get access to similar trends as well. So quickly, the filter options on the cost analysis tools portal is to filter by date. You can specify the start date and the end date for your analysis. Uh, and there is a 6 month duration that you can specify, up to a 6 month duration that you can specify. Uh, Within OCI, you can tag your resources. You can create tag namespaces and then create tag keys and assign values to those. These tag keys can be attached to uh, OCI resources. So within cost analysis tools, you can now filter by these tag keys so that you are able to get information about very particular tags that you are interested in analyzing for costs. And finally, you can also filter your costs in this cost analysis tools by your compartments. So you can specify whether it's the root compartment or one of the other child compartments within OCI that you want to filter your cost data on. The next thing we will discuss is budgets. The notion of a budget is that you can use budgets to set soft limits on your OCI spending. And you can also set alerts on your budgets to let you know when you might exceed your budget. And you can view all of your budgets and your current spending from a single place in OCI console. So let's look at the console and see what the budget page looks like. So as I said, go to account management and you'll see all these options. Let's look at budgets. Okay, the first thing to notice is that you can set your budgets either on cost tracking tags or on the compartment level to track all spending related to that cost tracking tag that you're interested in, or all spending for that compartment and its children. So so I've already created a budget, but let's look at how you can create a budget in OCI. Actually, before I create a budget, let's look at what you need to, what kind of policies you need to create budgets. So we will, to create a budget, you must be in a group that can use usage budgets in your tenancy. And these are sample IAM policies that you would need to write using your IAM policy section that can let a particular group inspect usage budget or read usage budgets or use them or to manage them. And once your policy is in place, depending on the policy, if you manage, then you can do everything on this budgets page. You first specify whether you want the budget scope to be compartment or cost tracking tag. Let's let's just write a sample policy quickly so you get a sense. Then you need to specify the target compartment. You can specify it on root, or you can choose the compartment you want. Then you need to specify a monthly budget amount based on your business use case. And the range is from $1 to a really big number. So choose anything that makes sense to you. And then the alerts are optional, but that's a feature that lets you specify the threshold on which you want an alert to be created uh, and get sent out. And you can send a customized email message body with these alerts. The alerts are evaluated every 15 minutes and can be triggered under two conditions. The first is when your actual spend in OCI hits that alert threshold, or when your forecasted spend would hit that threshold. Right, so let's enter some values so you can create the budget alert on actual spend or forecast spend. You can choose it. And then the threshold type could be a percentage of your monthly budget amount, or it could be an absolute amount as well. So let's say when the actual spend is 80%, I would want to send that budget alert email message. You specify uh, your email address here, whatever you want the email to go to, and then this could be your custom image email message. So with this, you can create your budget. Similarly, you can create a budget on the cost tracking tags. The only difference is you need to specify the tag key. I have a cost tracking tag key called cost center already defined, and the value I want the alert to be initiated on is the key value is dev. So all the resources tagged with the cost and center key tag key of the the tag key of cost center with a value of dev would initiate this are part of this budget and can potentially send a budget alert. So it's the same process. This is the only difference. The rest is same as the compartment process that we just saw. Okay. And then you can manage uh, these budgets, and you can delete and edit them, etc. These are screenshots of the budget creation process that we just saw. And this is an example email message that got created because an alert, a budget alert condition was met. All right, so now let's look at usage reports. A usage report in OCI is a CSV file, a comma separated value file, and you can use this file to get a detailed breakdown of resources in OCI. The usage report is automatically generated daily, and it is stored in an Oracle owned object storage bucket. Uh, each CSV file contains one row per each OCI resource. Any resource such as an instance you're using, any object storage bucket, any VNet, any database that you're using in OCI. Uh, you get one row for each resource, and it is per hour. So one row per hour for each resource, along with relevant information like consumption, any metadata that you have in there, and tags that you have. Uh, Typically, the usage reports they contain up to uh, up to 24 hours of usage data, and they generated once per day. Sometimes there could be a little bit more than 24 hours of data if there is any late arriving data that gets to be part of this file as well. And the usage reports are retained for a 1 year period, but you can obviously download these and use them and store them as you see appropriate. These are very useful for cost management purposes. So you can use these for reconciling your invoices, for any custom dashboards, any reporting needs that you have. It's a CSV file, so you can potentially import it in your analysis tools as well. If you have multiple departments using an OCI tenancy, which is a common thing among our enterprise customers, you can potentially use usage reports for cross charging the different departments as well. And it lets you see trends, and you can get information like you get from cost analysis tools that we discussed from usage reports as well. Before you can start using or start accessing your usage reports, you need to define an IAM policy for it. Actually, the first time you go to your OCI console, uh, on the budgets page, you would be given these policies, and you copy them and apply them in your IAM policy page. You create a new policy, and once you create this policy, which is based on the usage report, you are able to then access these usage reports. So let's take a quick look. I'm going to first show you. So if you go to identity, you can click on policies, and I've created a policy called usage report. And here are the two statements that you need to add. And once those statements are in place, you will be able to go to the usage reports page and get access to these gzipped CSV files. You can download these files. They have a lot of detail. Let's look at an example CSV file I downloaded. You can see it's one row per resource and gives you a lot of consumption information and tags and all this useful information as well. And obviously, once you have this data, you can uh, analyze this data right here in Excel. In this example, create pivot tables or dashboards, or you can import it in your in any other tools that you would like to use for analysis as well. This page just shows a sample dashboard that you can potentially create from a usage report. So in this first part, I'm going to end this session right here. We looked at how you can access billing and cost management information in OCI console from the account management section. We looked at cost analysis tools and how they are useful, how you can filter your data using them, what kind of policies you need for them. We looked at OCI budgets. How do you create a budget? What kind of IAM policy you need for it? We looked at how to create budget alerts on specific thresholds, or if you're interested in getting emails about potentially hitting a budget amount. And finally, we looked at the usage report option, the IAM policies you need to get access to usage reports. And we looked at how to get to usage reports from the console, and we looked at a example usage report as well. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to having you attend the next part of this session as well.